can hit the island for vacation.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
That's very well timed there, defense. Because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many ones in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Detroit! Now let's go!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And on the ground they go with a running back. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. To throw on 2nd down. Trader flushed out right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they look at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete here on third down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from up in Seattle. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. 3rd down here. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And Parkey's kick is good. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
But he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Right back to him on first down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Back to throw. Schrader under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, he really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Schrader. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Check 48 to the mic. Check 48 to the mic. Over.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
All right, here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Back there in that Philly. Here we go. Leopard. Leopard. Gone.
Throwing on first down. Schrader. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give him some space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. On 1st and 10, Schrader. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Gun!
Operating from the gun, Schrader. And this is caught at the 8. That one goes for 24 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. But they wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Daniel. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Second and 6, just inside the 30. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Watch it now, Barney! Over!
The give is to Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A give to Bell. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So they decline it, as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, Schrader. Green with a catch left side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Operating from the gun, Schrader escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. Adrian Amos with a pick. Shrugs the tackle. Nice. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Bell. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Big hold to the 30 and all the way up to the 33-yard line. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll go on the ground. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw. Trader. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On third down, Trader. A bullet throw, but incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 32. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Space to run past the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, Trader, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Adrian Amos with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burt?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incomplete.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, 50.
This is Bell. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Let's go, B, let's go. Hey, let's get there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
319.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Flush to his right. He'll air it out deep for Tom. Oh, wide open, complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there for Chicago. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Working from the gun, Rodgers got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. From the gun, Trader. He's going to launch this thing way down, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Equanimous St. Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive. knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right at the 35. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
To throw on 3rd down, Schrader. And he will find his man on the outside. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on 1st down. Schrader, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Detroit!
To throw on 2nd down. Schrader, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Schrader, he'll rifle this one deep right, and this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a...
He's got him in, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him a gain of 38. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, where y'all going?
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the the 13. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. A big play there for Minnesota. 53 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down. That's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and we'll do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing is Rodgers, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
319. 48 to Mike. Watch the back.
from the gun on third down. Rodgers, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.